For many good people, the thought of living at a place like Givens Estates United Methodist Retirement Community in Asheville, North Carolina, was a hope and a dream. Bob Terrell.
Learning the history of Givens is important for myself, the residents, future residents, and definitely the team members to understand where we came from, how we built the community, right? It's part of our mission today is creating community, and to understand how that community was established is part of the underlying foundation that's so important for, I believe, everyone to know. It helps tell our story as we progress through the unknowns, helps us just become better stewards of what was in the past so we can carry that into the future.
There is a plaque on the wall. If you come in the main entrance of Oxford, most of us here walk by it regularly, and that plaque tells the story. It's called Builders of the Dream, and it says, dedicated to those who faithfully committed themselves to making the dream a reality. The names at the top: Embry H. Blackard, Thomas E. Camp, Helen S. Chandler, Earl B. Hadlow, Earl G. Hunt Jr., J. Clay Madison, Richard A. Wood Jr. There's the story of the beginnings of Givens in Methodism.
When you come on the Givens campus now, it seems like, how could it be here now? But 50, 60 years ago, there were a lot of caring Christians, Methodists, that really envisioned how can we fill this need for the aging population. It was just fortuitous with groups working on it. Then finally it clicked. The Cathedral Group had done a study and said it will economically work, and there is a need there. Bunch of folks, Earl Hadlow and Tom Camp.
Well, and Embry Blackard, I think, was the one who really started talking. We need to do something up here in western North Carolina.
So you talk about inspiration now. Dick Wood, he was a mentor, he was a friend, but he was also board chair, and he was inspiration. Somebody that committed, oh my goodness.
It's an interesting story. About 1975, a banker in Asheville, United Methodists, by the name of Charles Nesbitt, and in some conversations he and Dick Wood were having, they had become aware of Mrs. Givens' trust, which included 160 acres of land and $2.5 million. Now think about $2.5 million in 1973. She had said that she wanted that money to be used for a retirement community on the land and the trust to support it. If that did not happen by a certain end date,
2-year window,
then the money would go to the University of North Carolina.
And that was one of the first things I guess I heard about Givens was that she had a passion for older people and trying to find ways to serve them. And I could just envision Ms. Givens saying, let's go do something good for the people, right? And the older folks, and let's find ways to take care of them and serve them.
Charlie Nesbitt and Dick Wood got to talking. They knew this interest that had floated around Methodism for a decade or more. August 21st, 1975, in Charlotte, at Ovens Auditorium. I remember going to that. The place was full, 1,500 people or so, representing churches all across western North Carolina. The presentation for this home was made. The annual conference voted. Clay Madison, in his memory of it, says, with little dissent. Embry Blackard, in his memory of it, says unanimously. So, anyhow, overwhelmingly, the decision was made to move forward with the Givens community So that's sort of how it all got started. The board of directors was elected. Helen Chandler was the first chair of that board. Dick Wood later became chair of that board. Those people whose names are on that plaque, there's the story.
The history of Givens was well documented a number of years ago by Bob Terrell, who wrote a book, A Dream, a Hope, a Reality. We were astounded at how many people worked on making this happen. If things had not come together just as they did, that nothing would have happened. But all of those things clicked.
I was 5 years old when my grandmother was appointed to a committee in 1964 to help secure a location and the funding for a retirement center in North Carolina. I've been around since it was a twinkle in my grandmother's eye to actually form a community like this.
And we visited many churches through the districts. And that was our dog and pony show. We just, on and on, the same thing, getting people acquainted with Givens.
At the time, I had a lot of customers at the bank who were elderly, and they were moving. I'd see them leave and move to Florida. And I thought, what if we had something for them here, to stay here? And that's really what I was thinking about when it started. When I got on the board, after I found out, it's going to make it. And two, I wanted to see something for everybody, no matter what economic, range, where they were, that they could afford it. Where they could, not just for people with the deep pockets, but everybody.
I want to share about the Givens spirit. Where did that spirit come from? It came from many different directions. And I go back to the Methodists that were dreaming, having a retirement community for the people of this region, that compassion. Then John Leffler, who came out and did the feasibility study, was used to writing HUD grants and raising money. And I'm confident he gave leadership to our board because he continued helping us, helped us move forward with the low-income housing, writing the HUD grants. That spirit has continued throughout so many people.
Givens started with affordable housing. It is such a part of who we are. When we had those original HUD apartments on the Givens Estates campus, we discovered with just a little bit of help, seniors in affordable housing could stay in independent living up until the very end of their life or very close to the end of their life. It is a really, really special model that we've developed.
To the glory of God, in the presence of those here assembled, I now direct that ground be broken for Phase 3, Asbury Hall at Givens Estates United Methodist Retirement Community, which shall be devoted to the honor and glory of Almighty God our Father, and to the glory of His blessed Son, our Savior, Jesus Christ.
The need for a home was obvious, and certainly those with whom I talked reminded me that they didn't like to leave the mountains, but they liked to go to a retirement facility closer to their own people and to their surroundings.
Think about how the mission of Givens has changed over the years, from a very simply stated mission regarding helping older adults in the ways that we can, to all-encompassing, creating communities, enriching lives, mission that has so much underneath those 4 words that we maybe didn't think about before, but we saw we must do more. Our mission is much greater than just helping older adults. And I'm so proud of what Givens has done in that regard.
I think vision is one thing that's been very strong with our leaders. Look where we are now and where we started not that many years ago, really. So I think vision has been very strong with these people.
The Life Ministries program that we started many years ago going into the local churches in the local communities, and not just the Methodist churches, although predominantly, helping people in the rural communities receive the care and support and services they need. And we found ways to fund it. With the Duke Endowment. Memory Care is another outreach ministry. There was no other place you could go for an assessment in Western North Carolina. It's a great clinic right here on our campus.
It was also part of our mission as an organization to provide the high-quality services to folks of means and those not, and everyone in between. And the board's always been very disciplined about looking at that. And at the core of everything that we do, whether it's the on-campus, internal, or external, it's about those interpersonal relationships. And that builds trust, and it allows, I think, the organization to stay in tune about what those needs are.
People who have never experienced that before I think they're still taken by a unique, caring spirit that you discover on this campus. That it's not just people who are paid to take care of you. I mean, they really care about you, and the residents care about each other. And I just thought that was very unique.
I used to take the rap when you're trying to raise money in a local church for anything, whether it was medical assistance or whatever. They'd say, oh, why do we need to do that? Only well-off people live over there. And that wasn't exactly true.
No.
But they thought it.
The diversity that's here, whether it's economical, the diversity of where people have lived and come from, the diversity of their job experiences. So I'm going to say diversity speaks a lot to everybody that's here.
The thing that drew us here when we were visiting and still exists today is the spirit of Gibbons. It's a very connecting community. I mean, it doesn't take long to connect here. Gibbons is a blue zone. You move into Gibbons, you can be 100 years old. You can grow to be 100 years old.
I could never ask for anything any better. I just feel like it's almost like a family. We're brothers and sisters, and we share with each other, and we do things together, and it's a very inclusive community.
I'm the one that has lived here the longest, 39 plus, and I could not be in a better place. Gibbons has just about everything.
I look forward to being here because of the amenities and knowing personally firsthand what incredible care my family got for 2 generations.
One thing that inspired me to come aboard Gibbons was how you have served multiple different income levels, because what we do at Gerber Park is pretty special. Right? It's very innovative in terms of how it has the middle market product and how we fund that, but also how we intermix that with HUD and tax credit financing. We want to do more of it, right? Because that's in our DNA.
The dream, originally it was having one physical retirement community, but how it has grown through the years to be a number of retirement communities, affordable apartments in various underserved areas, and now the home-based services. It's surpassed what I thought when I started 35 years ago.
I think what really has given Gibbons the strong reputation in the community is what Gibbons have done outside of Gibbons. As we adjust to the 21st century and even beyond, we take care of the people who live here. We take care of our staff, and we don't forget that we are a part of the community.
One campus affects all campuses. So it's always got to be taking into account that you love, as a mother, you love all your children equally. And a decision you make about one may affect the others. But I think it's been done very well, that it's a big community and we honor them all.
Highland Farms became part of the Gibbons family in December of 2012. This community, in essence, had to be reinvented. I mean, we knew it was a life plan community. So for our residents, what this means is that we are creating a sustainability of a product, of a service, of a community well into the future.
I don't know that I could have said that when we first started, it's so much better and certainly larger than I could have ever imagined. It has been an amazing success, not just financially, but with how many people it is now caring for.
My vision for the future is to be able to continue the great work that was set before us. Face any challenges that we need to face with the same integrity and compassion that you all did, and to grow and make sure we're caring for more individuals that need the care and support in the area.
And I think the Givens, not only Mrs. Givens, both, simple. What they would say if they could talk to us today, I think they would say you have far exceeded our expectations in taking care of the elderly.
I think she'd be overwhelmed with joy that we have done so much more than what she probably dreamed. I think she'd be very overwhelmed in just that happiness. And I can picture her walking around the campus, just like, here's another garden, here's a place for residents to spend time together and live life fully.
Every day, I think Mrs. Givens would be so proud of the fact that we honor her with gardening. And I think she would be very proud and say, Pat, I'm proud of you for keeping up that gardening tradition, and you're honoring me by doing that, because I know that was important to her.
I think her mind would be absolutely blown, because the vision was having a retirement community in Western North Carolina. And now we're an organization that has become regional. That's really important for the future.
I think she'd be overwhelmed too, like your grandmother would, but I think she'd also say, wow, look what they have done with what we gave them.
The simple fundamental principles of that mission has never changed. Take care of people, older adults in particular, take care of people. All income levels, doesn't matter. And I bet you anything, we were sitting at the table with Mrs. Givens, we would have that very simple discussion. Are you all doing this? And yes, we are.
I had the privilege and honor of being the first president and chairman of the board of directors of Givens Estates United Methodist Retirement Community. From 1964 until about 1974, we saw no hope of getting a retirement community in the mountains. So that really was 10 years of frustration.
I firmly believe that Givens Estate was established under the providence of God. If the annual conference had approved our original request, we would have been limited in the scope of our undertaking. But with the aid of the Givens bequest, we have been able to establish one of the finest retirement homes in Methodism.